Hi everyone, this is a quick introduction video to Module 7. So Module 7 is the second to last module in the class, and this is the module where you will turn in the final draft of your process essay. So the process essay, just as a reminder, is the one that we've been working on. You started it in Module 5 where you gave me your essay plan as well as your thesis, and you should have feedback for that already. Then in Module 6, you turned in a rough draft of your process essay, and I will be leaving feedback for you on that fairly quickly in this module. And you also turned it into the Writing Center to get some feedback, as well as posting it on the discussion board to get some peer feedback. So now you have feedback from 3 places in order to turn your rough draft into the final draft. So this is the last stage in the writing process, and at the end of this module you will submit the final draft of your process essay for grading. So I just want to show you what you'll be doing. If you're ever confused as to what we're working on, this revising your rough draft item will be something that you can go back to. And so once you're finished going through these steps, then you can mark it as done. I've got a couple of things linked in here for you. Revision discussion board, just as a reminder, you should get those comments back from your peers. Don't forget you've submitted to the online writing lab. They should give that back to you in an email. You should have taken the document that they attached to that email and then uploaded it in the Module 6. Let me know if you have any questions or issues with this. Obviously, at that point, you want to make some changes to your draft. You'll also be doing a self-edit in this module. It's part of the Module 7 assignments is to self-edit your essay. That is to go through it one more time and give yourself some feedback, as well as looking at instructor feedback. I will be primarily giving you inline comments on your rough draft. As opposed to, I don't have a rubric for it, so you won't be able to look at a rubric. I'll be giving you some kind of general overall comments if there's something really big that I see that you need to change, but most of the comments will be specific inline comments using those annotation tools, so the little bubbles on the side, and then highlighting and that kind of thing. So those are what you want to look at. So if you have trouble viewing instructor feedback, this video down here shows you what to click on in order to see it. The main thing that you want to remember is that you cannot just turn in a rough draft, the rough draft, as your final draft. If you don't make any changes, then I'm only going to give you half credit for the essay, because all of these assignments were then worthless if you don't actually use them to improve your essay. So just keep that in mind. So looking at the other stuff in this module, the self-edit is right here. And this is just a checklist questionnaire that you'll be doing for your essay. You're going to type out your answers and give yourself some things to change. The big thing that I look for here, as well as obviously on the discussion board, is did you give yourself some critique? Did you tell yourself things to change? So that's what I'm looking for, is self-critique. And then you have your grammar review as well. So our last grammar quiz that's new is other punctuation. So this includes apostrophes and semicolons, and colons, parentheses, dashes, hyphens, that kind of thing. So those will be the last types of grammar questions that you'll have. In the next module, it will be a review quiz, which will give you questions from all of the quizzes that we've taken. And then the last thing before the submission for the essay is this little information box on second person. Probably the biggest issue that I see for the process essay is students writing a set of instructions rather than writing a process explanation. And the chapter goes over the difference between the two, but keep in mind that what I'm looking for is a process explanation. You can use third-person pronouns or third-person subjects in your essay. So if you're writing about changing the oil on your car, you might have a person doing it. You could also have a mechanic doing it. So someone is not you or me. You could also use first person. if you want to. So if this is a process you've completed many times, I encourage students just to use first person because it's something that you've done, so then you can use that I. So I've got 3 examples here. The second person is the type of pronoun that you do not want to use because that is what's called a set of instructions. So we're not doing a set of instructions, we are doing a process explanation or a process analysis. So that gives you some ideas there. And then I have a video link that's really good explaining some of the problems with using second person in academic writing and helping you to revise those. So if you have any questions about that, I'll be looking at it for your process essay or for your rough draft. I will be commenting on that as well. And so by the time you get to the final draft, you should not have that problem. So just keep in mind, this is the final draft of the process essay. We've been working on that, and so this is when you submit the final, hopefully perfected copy of your essay. It is worth 150 points, so it is a lot of your grade is just getting this one paper done, which is why we took 3 modules to do it, and that's why you've been getting so much feedback. So make sure you put some effort into getting it right and getting everything in there. It's not a really long essay, but it is our first full-length essay. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you have questions, of course, always make sure that you send me an email. So that's the module. Depending on where you're at in your rough draft phase, it may take you longer than others to finish a final draft, but keep in mind that you do want to be going back and looking at, you've got 3 places for feedback that you need to look, and then of course giving yourself a good self-edit before you finish that final draft. This is the hard part of the class. So once we're done with this module, the last module is reflection and review and is not as hard. And so just kind of keep in mind that you can kind of take a sigh of relief once you finish this. Hopefully you're doing well. If you have any questions, send me an email.